All right, welcome back. These were the two problems that were on your canvas that you should have done. If you have not done them yet, please go do them now. This is your check for understanding. Okay, so let's start with the one on the left. We have two options. We could move the negative 3k to the right hand side, or we can move the negative 2k to the left hand side. It actually doesn't matter. I'm going to just be different this time, and I'm going to add 3k to the negative 3k and move this one over here. Now, you may have done this differently. Stick with me to the end. You can see if you did it the right way, your way. But if you didn't, then you can come back and check. This cancels, leaving 9 on the left-hand side. Then we have 17, and then negative 2 plus k plus 3k makes plus k. Again, I have an equation with just the variable on one side now. I'm undoing it. Positive 17, subtract 17. I'm going to subtract 17 over here, and that's going to give me negative 8 equals k. Just for fun, let's do it the other way, right? Because it's fun to do it that way. So we're going to do it faster. I'm going to add 2k to both sides. And that gives me 9 minus k equals 17. And then I need to move the 9, so that's positive 9. So I subtract 9. Negative k equals 8. But I don't want a negative k. I want positive k. So we switch the signs there. And we get k equals negative 8. So you get the answer no matter which way you do it. You can actually start this problem several different ways. Okay, let's do this other one. We've got variables on both sides. I noticed that if I move the 5m over here, I'm going to have to eventually move something back over there. That seems like an extra step to me. So I'm going to move the negative 3m over there. I'm going to do that by adding 3m to both sides. That gives me 24 equals 8m. And then I divide both sides by 8. And I get m equals 3. And again, just for funsies, let's do it the other way, right? I'm going to subtract 5m from both sides. That's going to give me 24 minus 8m equals 0, right? Because there's a 0 over there since I subtracted everything away. Then I got to move the negative 24 over, subtracting 24. And then I got to divide by negative 8. And notice that when I do that, I get m equals 3. Same thing, right? So it works no matter which way you do it, as long as you do the moves legally, okay? Make sure if you've got any questions on this, you got these wrong. This was your check for understanding. You need to go and seek out your teacher, leave a comment, whatever, and so you get the help you need. Let's move on to the next example. Solving with grouping symbols. We're going to combine what we did in the last lesson, 2.4, with what we just started here. Notice that I have this 1/4 outside of the parentheses, which tells me that the first thing I need to do before I can move any variable terms around is to distribute the 1/4. So that gives me 9x minus 5 equals 4x, right? 1/4 times 16 is 4x. 1/4 times 60 is 15, right? So I distributed. And that gave me an equation that looks exactly like the thing that I did on the other side. So first thing I'm going to do here is get the variable terms on the same side. And I'll do that by subtracting 4x. That gives me 5x minus 5 equals 15. Now it looks like an equation that we started in 2.3, right? Notice how every time we do a step, we make equivalent equations that are simpler, right? So I'm going to do this by adding 5 to both sides. I get 5x equals 20. And then I'm going to divide both sides by 5, and I get x equals 4. Wacha. Now we're done. It checks out, right? It will check out. 9 times 4 minus 5 equals 1/4 times 16 times 4 plus 60. Notice that we're getting a lot more complicated now with our checks, but let's do it. It's good habit to do it. There shouldn't be a solving test where you ever are unsure how you did, because you can check your answers at the end of every single one. All right, anyway, so 16 times 4, this is 1/4 times 16 times 4 is 64 plus 60. This is 31 equals 1/4 times 64 plus 60 is 124. And that checks out. 1/4 times 124 is 31. So we're good. It makes sense. All right, so all we really did here is we complicated it a little bit. We added a step that you had to do before you needed to get the variables on the same side. I've got a practice for you, so go ahead and go back to your canvas and do that problem, and then we'll see you in the next video.